sit and wait for something else to happen. But as Alan blamed the world, entertainment please. You knew a place the way I breathe. I'm zapping through a pile of long-lost memories. It turns into the leads that seems I don't care about anymore. And I've outgrown the child in me, killed my curiosity to become the time machine that I never wanted to be. Ooh, I've lost. Gone astray. Sit and watch the days die at infinitum. Seconds turning into years that become decades. I've outgrown the child in me, killed my curiosity to become the time machine that I never wanted to be. Ooh, I've lost. Gone astray.
Yeah, thank you, Robert Gräfe, for your wonderful music once more.
Yeah, and thanks for tuning in again to our sixth ISWIsion show from this week. Yeah.
Yeah. In case you were wondering why they're here again, we've been in the second show, but we enjoyed it so much that we are back.
Yeah, because we had so much fun, we are just doing it again. And yeah, what do we have today? We have several reports as every time, and we have a special guest and also some live music today.
Yeah, but Kai, what is our topic?
Our topic today, maybe we'll find out in a teaser. Yeah, so today's topic is Africa once again.
Yeah, because every topic will be featured 2 times. and we will look at it further and from a different angle today.
Yeah, but before we welcome our special guest and discuss it further, before we do that, we have something different, right? We have something different, right? Sorry, I almost forgot about that. We were at the open air concert and and now we can give you some exclusive material because we interviewed the bands.
Yeah, and we got some really good exclusive footage.
If you are interested in more footage, now comes a little teaser for the whole interview. The whole interview will be later on YouTube, but now let's watch several clips from Tuesday.
So now we are sitting here with Dr. Krapula, and first of all, I would say you guys introduce yourself. Like, who are you? Okay, I already said that. But where are you from? What kind of music do you guys play?
Where we are part of Dr. Krapula. He's Herman, the guitarist player, and I'm Sergio, the keyboard player. And yeah, we're from Colombia.
We're Naked Superhero. Is a band name. We're from Munich, Bavaria, Germany, and our genre is called brass punk.
Yeah, we're Departed Brass from Jena, Thuringia in Germany.
So the motive of this year's ISWI is global justice. So what do you guys think about global justice?
Global justice maybe stands for doing economical things in a way that, which doesn't corrupt the world.
Yeah, you know, I have a personal point of view, and I don't know if there is global justice. I don't really know. I think politicians in the world, they take care to manage their countries the way they want to do it, you know, and all the people, the real people, the people who vote for those politicians, they don't mean anything to them. So I think there is no global justice. Maybe at the end of the days, I don't know.
Global justice it definitely exists, but not in the way we want it or have to exist.
So you think it is worth fighting for?
Definitely,
the global justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we saw your name and we wondered a bit which one of you is the naked superhero.
It's more like a metaphor. It stands for, like we have a sentence which describes it really good. It's you don't need a costume to be a superhero. So it's more like everybody can be a superhero without being someone else, just being himself and doing something good in the world.
En tu vida hay dolor, que la cosa va de mal en peor. Lo que te hace mejor es luchar con la fuerza del amor.
There's a question. There are any stories behind your band name, or?
I think Dr. Krapula is starting with the name. It's a really weird word, but it means like Krapula means like a really bad person with bad habits, and Dr. Krapula, it means like a doctor and a bad person. It's like a politician.
Don't forget us. We're definitely not going to forget you guys. We love you. Thank you so much for listening to us.
Yeah, that were really great bands, I have to say. I saw the concerts and they were awesome. So Also, we want to thank our lovely colleagues from the ISWI radio because they did the interview and it was really good. So, as we already mentioned, there is an extended version on YouTube soon and you should definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, sorry Kai. We will come now to a special guest I heard and it's my lecturer, Professor Löffelholz.
Yeah, Professor Dr. Löffelholz does not only teach at our university, he's also the head of our Media and Communication faculty, and besides that, he also lectured in so many countries I can't even count them. For example, he taught in Australia, Indonesia, the Jordan, the Philippines, Senegal, South Africa, and many, many more. So now, with big applause, let's welcome Professor Dr. Löffelholz. Hello, nice having you here.
Nice having you.
Yeah, please go over and take a seat.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Sure.
Okay, so as we already mentioned, there are so many countries where you've already been to. So what would you say was the most extraordinary? Kai? Yeah, what would you say? Like, which one did you like the best, the most?
Oh, that's very difficult to say, of course. I still remember climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. Of course, that was a very, very impressive touristic activity. And I really enjoyed that I made it. Yeah, it's a couple of years ago, though.
No, that's, wow, I want to do that one day. Like, I haven't been anywhere yet in relation to you, so...
In fact, it's not that difficult. I mean, even a normal hiker could do that. So just give it a try.
I will definitely.
Yeah. And what else can you tell us about the experience with Africa? Because Africa is our topic today. You were in several countries. Where have you been? What did you experience? Do you want to share some specific story with us, maybe?
Yeah, of course. In fact, I have visited several countries in Africa. Starting in 1980, that was the very first time when I went to Israel, which is not really considered Africa. But by that time, I was also visiting the Sinai Peninsula, which is now Egypt. That definitely belongs to Africa. And it was a time that there was still a lot of struggle and tension between both countries. And when I attended Sinai in 1980, right after my time in the military, before I started studying, we felt, that sounds a bit weird, but we felt free being there because there was no tight control. Later on, I visited various countries, as I mentioned, Tanzania and Kenya for touristic purposes. When I saw the pictures of the fauna, the animals, I remembered my time in the Serengeti.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's really great. But later on, when I became a lecturer, I visited various countries for job purposes. For instance, you mentioned already Senegal. I have been to Gambia also, and South Africa, and especially we have carried out an empirical study in Kenya after the post-election crisis.
What was it about?
I mean, a couple of years ago, there was an election in Kenya, and after that, the country got into turmoil because there was criticism on what happened during the election. Was it fair and just? And and of course, this is very much related to the overall topic of this event here. Yeah. And of course, there was a lot of injustice, many turbulences, and difficult situations we were facing by that time.
Oh wow! No.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to talk about the problems later on a bit deeper, but. What I'm interested in right now, before we go into that deep, there are certain differences between Africa and Europe or every other continent, I guess. You are a journalist. What comes to my mind is we here have freedom of speech. I don't really know about every country in Africa. Here, as a journalist, I would say you're rather safe wherever you go in Africa. You probably right now have larger danger zones, I maybe call it like that. What were your experience maybe with that? How is journalism perceived there? yeah, maybe you can tell us something about that. Did you encounter several problems in that regard?
Yeah, first of all, we have to note that Africa is of course not a country, it's a continent comprising so many different countries, different political systems, many different cultures and languages. So from that perspective, it is huge and not easy to bring it to one point. Even if we are looking here, you mentioned Europe. I mean, Europe is quite homogeneous compared to Africa. So the heterogeneity within this continent of Africa is very great. In terms of political issues, that's what you mentioned. There are democratic states and authoritarian states. We have this huge difference between the so-called Maghreb countries in the northern part of Africa, where mostly Arab is spoken, and the so-called sub-Saharan countries. And in many of the sub-Saharan countries, we are facing still many injustices. We are facing specific socioeconomic problems. But on the other hand, you see also many signs of hope in various countries. So from that perspective, I hesitate to point at one specific country explaining how difficult the situation is here. Yeah. Even though, of course, it is, I should mention, of course, because this is now in the news, I should mention Somalia, because Somalia is considered a failed state, and you have mentioned the risk to work as a journalist, and definitely it is very risky to work in a country like Somalia.
And are there also like states that no, you know what, we need to get to the next report, but I think we could talk hours about this topic because it's really interesting, but I will try to make the bridge to African food. So I guess you have tried African food before, I hope, because then you will surely enjoy our next clip.
Yeah, because our next clip is about typical North African food. It's always a little bit different in every state, mostly seen in Morocco. I mean, last Tuesday, Monday, I'm not quite sure, had this very traditional serving plate thingy. I don't know what it was like a pyramid, for tagine. So let's go to our next Tasty World tour to Morocco with tagine.
Welcome to a new episode today with me, Professor Dr. Koch. Today we are cooking a Moroccan specialty, couscous and taiji. And of course the most important thing is the lamb, which is definitely lamb and nothing else. And lots of vegetables, which are also very important, as well as the spices. We have really a lot of spices in this recipe, and of course couscous. Well, let's start cooking. The first step was to peel the onions, and now we're cutting them. And for this, we also have tissues, but don't get the wrong idea, we're not having them because we're crying because of the onions. We're crying because this recipe is just too good, and I'm just excited to eat it afterwards. So, let's start. We're now finished with the onions. The next step is cutting the lamb before we washed it. Now we're going to put the lamb into the pan, but first we have to put some oil in it. Now we have to wait a few minutes. First we put in some paprika, some cumin, and a specialty that we have today, Moroccan Dream, a special spice just from Morocco. And since this recipe is from Morocco, we're also going to put it in there. I mean, what can go wrong? For the last thing, we put in this little stuff. It's saffron. After we put in the spices, We put it in the oven for about 20 minutes, but before that, we're going to add a little bit of water so that it can schmore. And since we are pure students, we don't have a special pan for it, so we just take a normal pan and put some olive oil on it. While our little lamb is in the oven, we're going to cut the rest of the vegetables, which we washed beforehand. So let's start with the tomatoes. Now we're peeling the carrots and then cut them. Now we look how it looks before we put in the vegetables. But before that, we're going to make the dip. First we put in this cup of yogurt. And now we spice it up with some mint. So we also have to cut it, as you might have guessed. But we should put some aside for the garniture later, so that it looks beautiful. Then we take our mint and put it in there. Then we take our trusty salt. And pepper. And ready is the dip where you can put your tagine in later. And now we put on the vegetables. We just kind of place it there. First the beans. I love beans, that's why we have so many beans. The carrots. And the tomatoes. And put it back in the oven for another 25 minutes. Now we're making the main part of this recipe, the couscous. It's very complicated, so you have to pay attention. First we put in this couscous into this pan thing. This part is very dangerous because the water is really hot. You see, it's really hot. And we pour it over the couscous. You see, the couscous is taking in the water. And we put on the whatever this is on the pan. Now our dear lamb is ready, so we're going to get it out of the oven and hope it's still, no, it's not alive, but I hope it's okay. And we put it there. And turn off the oven. That's very important. Don't forget turning off the oven, because otherwise your whole house will be on fire. Let's see how it looks. Yeah. Looks good, I'd say. And that's it. Easy, right? And now we want to know how it tastes, so we invited a guest. Kai, would you please come here? Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Just tell us how it tastes. I even got a fork for you.
Oh, thank you. So what is it again?
That's couscous.
That's couscous, and that is
vegetables with lamb. Please don't eat the mint, we only have 3 of it. It's just gone, it's just decoration.
Okay. I don't know what I would give it. I'm just gonna eat it. Bye.
Wow, that looked really delicious. I have to say, I'm fortunate enough to have an Egyptian neighbor, and it looked a little bit different, but still so delicious.
I was so happy that we were doing this in our kitchen because I could eat all of it later on.
Okay,
because
now
we
I'm
couldn't
really
finish
jealous.
it
I'm really
at
jealous.
Once, and I had like 3 days to eat of it, and it was so great.
Damn! Yeah, well, so do you like African food? Did you try it yet?
In fact, I really like to eat couscous, especially now since I'm really hungry. But I have tried various foods here. But especially, I remember I don't really know whether that is typically African food, but I remember that I've eaten crocodile steak in South Africa
Oh.
I think it's also common in Australia, as far as I know. But this was a long-lasting impression, not really because of the taste, but because I was not aware that it's crocodile. And when I was eating it, then I asked them, and then it was my first crocodile steak. Yeah.
Yeah. You always say it tastes like chicken when you don't know what it is. So did it taste like chicken?
It's too long ago. I don't really. In fact, I don't really remember. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Sad. That would have interested me because
it was more
I love steak.
but tried it. I mean, I remember it was really good. Yeah, so I don't really remember whether it was tasting like chicken.
So next
it
time we
seems
should
a little
do
bit
some
absurd
crocodile.
to eat a crocodile, but okay.
I don't know if this is really politically correct nowadays to eat crocodile, but in fact, you can eat it in various countries and also in Africa.
We should. Yeah.
I guess we look it up after the show, and then maybe we delete this part.
Difficult to find that in Germany, I guess.
Don't think don't think about it too much. So but what interests me too is in Germany, for example, we have a lot of fatty food. It's mostly with sauces, and it's like big fat piles of meat. And often it's like deer or cow. So what would you say is maybe typical for, I don't know, for one of the states you were in? Maybe you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, what I have observed is that there is really not. I mean, there is a gap. I mean, there's a distinction between the different cultures. That also they are also distinctive in terms of what they are eating. However, I think the most important line of distinction is between the different socioeconomic groups. To eat meat or fish, which is of course enjoyable to many across the globe, is for many Africans is not possible because they don't really have the money to pay for that. So on the other hand, there are many vegetables, potatoes and others, which are rice, which are used in everyday food in many different cultures.
Yeah, so that you say culture, because we are not only interested in the culinary side, but also the culture. How did you perceive the culture of Africa? I know that there are so many states, but maybe you have special memories of that.
I mean, it's, as I already mentioned, it's quite difficult to summarize here.
Yes,
but what I mean, key terms, what I have in mind when it comes to different cultures in Africa is colorful. That is really, it's so impressive. And the second term, which I think describes it very well, is lively. It's the music, the lifestyle. So there's a lot of life in, sometimes even in situations of despair. So that is what I really admire.
So not like in Germany that everyone that you see on the streets is like having his phone out. Meh, I don't want to walk down the street.
I don't want to judge Germans. I mean, we also have a lot of activities and liveliness here, but that's, if you ask me what I have in mind, then I would say these are the main features which I observe. And then, of course, also the as I said, there's heterogeneity in terms of political or of governance forms, but there's also a huge variety in terms of cultures. The different dance styles, wow, they can be so distinctive from the east to the west, from the north to the south. So even in one specific area, you find different tribes which have different languages and perform different dances. So that is probably a time which we have also experienced here in Europe a couple of hundreds of years ago, when it was not that streamlined as it is nowadays.
Right now, everyone is just standing there and maybe a little bit of jumping, but mostly it's like and it's it.
Yeah, but I mean, we are able to apply some African dance style here. I think here, particularly in Ilmenau, it is sometimes done in the clubs, isn't it? You should know that.
Yes, sometimes.
I don't know. No, but we can. It depends on the event, of course. So no, but I think we can also learn that. That's why I also like Ilmenau, because we have such an international like a variety here, and we can learn from every possible country. Like even for my masters, I didn't know anyone from Africa before, and now I have like 3-4 classmates, and it's fascinating.
But because you were talking about learning, we have another report for you prepared. to get more serious right now, we were at the exhibition at the Wetzlauer Platz from the photographer Till Meyer. It is about reminding people to stand up for peace and fight war. And we interviewed him, took a lot of pictures there, so let's look at the report right now.
As a very young man, I started to report about wars and about the consequences for the civil population. And soon I realized that those people who are most affected, and who are most innocent, by the way, also, are people with disabilities. And this is why I created barrier zones. And it shows destinies of people who are disabled. Either they got disabled because they stepped on a landmine, or they were in shootings, or they have to survive with a born disability, have to survive in a very harsh conditions of a conflict zone. For me as a journalist and photographer, it's always a present when people give me their stories, because very often it's very painful for them, and sometimes I'm also really like a trigger for the bad memories. But for all of them it was important that I tell the stories. The exhibition, there's also a German version. It's traveling through a lot of schools and universities. And thanks God, in Germany, the young people, they don't know what war means. This is a good thing, of course, because war is a terrible thing. But on the other hand, it's also dangerous, because when we don't fear war anymore, when we don't know how terrible it is, maybe we're not fighting enough for peace anymore. So that's why I want to show, especially to young people, how terrible war is, and that it's the worst thing human beings can do to each other.
It's really sad to see how still war can destroy people, right? So while we have mostly peace in Europe, as you also already told us, that really a lot of regions in Africa are still at war or are critical, like danger zones. So did you encounter something like that personally when you were on your trips in Africa?
In fact, as I mentioned already, during this post-election crisis, there were also some difficult situations, but I would not call this war zone here. So a second experience was in South Africa, but not because of war or crisis, but just because of these high level of crimes, which is still a huge obstacle in the country.
Did you see any personal, when individuals get affected by war and sometimes it affects their whole life, did you get to know somebody, like personally?
In fact, when I visited Kenya, particularly the northern part of Kenya, there are quite huge refugee camps. From migrants and refugees from Somalia, particularly, and some of these refugees are also sometimes leaving the camps, and many of them are. I mean, you can really see in their faces and sometimes even in their bodies. Because they're handicapped, they have been going through landmines, etc. So that is, of course, as you said, that is of course very sad, and we have to, as the international community, we should not just watch and observe it, but of course it is good that the international community is caring about that and trying to mitigate the impact of this negative crisis and wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, and did you ever encounter someone that you say wanted to really help these guys? So do you have a story for us from someone that saw these problems too and maybe took action against it? Did you yourself take action to do something against it as you saw it maybe?
In fact, one of my former assistants who has worked here at Ilmenau for a couple of years, who is an alumnus of Ilmenau, is president of an NGO which is called Lighthouse Africa. And Lighthouse Africa has different branches in different African countries. One is in Kenya, another one is in Gambia. And their main goal is try to help reduce the negative impact of environmental problems. Oh, yeah. So they are dealing with pollution and many other negative impact. So Ilmenau, from that perspective, is somehow directly connected to helping solving this problem. Of course, this is a huge turn, but every voice and every action counts, definitely.
Yes. Did they already make some goals? Like, could you already see that there's some impact from these actions?
Oh yes, yes. They have conducted first a number of feasibility studies. For instance, in Gambia, I have visited the site for a few years ago, and now they are trying to implement new technologies in order to reduce the waste, which is also kind of poisoning. Yeah? So I remember a specific situation. There was a huge waste base, and very close to that, there was one of these children camps of this NGO SOS, and they were working together in order to, they could not really move the camp, so they tried to move this waste site, which is of course a difficult endeavor. It's a difficult endeavor, but somehow they managed to implement some technologies there in order to reduce the waste at least.
Oh, that's very impressive. And so it worked, right?
That worked, of course.
Wow.
It's a small scale project, but on the other hand, I have to say that my friend and former colleagues here at Ilmenau has tried to convince many sponsoring organizations, even the state government in Germany, to fund that, but it was not really possible. Yeah, so mostly the huge support organizations and huge NGOs are getting the funds, while the smallers have some difficulties to get sufficient funding, even though they are doing a lot of practical and good work.
Yeah.
Okay, but last time we talked about Africa, we heard also about a female that had her son who was moving, I don't really know again where it was, to Kenya, I guess, and he went to a really small town camp. And they didn't even have clean water, and he was phoning home and he said, I'm not missing cookies, I'm not missing TV or something, I just miss clean water. And that made her feel so, our guest said it like God spoke to her and told her to bring water to the city, and she was doing that for 3 years. She wanted to do that, and she accomplished it. Yeah. Even she didn't know anything about it.
And
so
yeah, she wasn't even an academic or something. She was just a
normal guy like us.
Wife,
so
actually, yeah.
So I guess just like your story, the message is get off your butt if you want to change something.
Yeah.
Everyone
yes,
can do a
exactly.
difference.
Yes.
It might be hard sometimes to get started, maybe, but if you are really interested in helping, just do it. Maybe it will work. If you don't even try, you're losing either way. So now thanks for sharing your story with us and telling about your past. It was very interesting having you here.
Yes.
We are really sorry. I would talk to you very much longer, but
we have to continue
we
with
have
the
to
show,
continue
yes.
with our show.
Yes, please, of course. Yes.
We would still like to ask you to sign our car and
just come
so,
over. Here
yes.
you have a pen. Just sign our car anywhere you like.
Okay.
Maybe the camera can show it a little bit.
If it works,
it should work.
Yeah, this one no, but
oh, maybe wait. I'll try. No, it doesn't work. But
doesn't work.
We have an alternative. Just cut in your sign if you want into plate.
Okay.
It's from the car from
I think I'm gonna repeat
so.
that better with that. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for having you.
Okay.
Here and
thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Until our next show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye bye.
Have a nice night. Professor Dr. Löffelholz. Yeah. That was very interesting.
Yes.
And now, once again, for almost the last time, it's the second time tonight. We're hearing once more later on, but now he is there, Robert Gräfe.
try to keep my head above the waters. Distant voices drowning in the silence of my world. Life and death go hand in hand, everybody knows. Everything is meant to go in the way. Long to feel the kiss of your breath caressing my neck. You'll be gone forever. All these colors, all of them are dressed in grey since you left. All these stories forgotten before we could know of them. Life and death go hand in hand, everybody knows. Everything is meant to go in the way. Long to feel that kiss of your breath caressing my neck. You'll be gone forever.
Robert Gräfe, ladies and gentlemen. What nice music.
Oh, so relaxing.
Yeah, it's so relaxing.
I just want to lay here and listen to it.
Yeah. Especially because we are all a little bit tired after our sixth ISWIsion show.
Please
by
play for me all evening and I will just like...
Oh, that would be so lovely.
Yeah.
But I guess this will be a long night for us again. Not
Yeah.
for you, but we still have to meet afterwards. We have to talk through the show and...
We will stay productive. Yes.
Pre-prepare for tomorrow. But tomorrow the next show. Before that, we have one more thing.
Yeah, let's look at yesterday.
Where is it? Yesterday. Right, yesterday. We were at the Intergalactic Night.
Yes.
And here is our report from our Intergalactic Night.
After our successful moderating at the last night's show, we're here now at the Intergalactic Night to catch some impressions. So let's walk around and see what's happening here. I'm here with Yvonne in the Neon Body Painting Dome. Hi, Yvonne.
Hi.
So, tell me about the Intergalactic Night. What's your job here?
I was helping with putting this all together, this intergalactic dome, and yeah, for today. And other than that, I'm just a helper here. I'm helping with everything, every job that there is.
And how's your night been going? Have you already met great people? Have you listened to great music?
Yeah, sure, but it's just the beginning of the night. It's like the first half hour of the night, so there was not too many people yet, but it goes pretty awesome. I'm expecting a really great night.
And what are you expecting of the ISWI then this week?
Well, as it was with the previous ISWI, it should be like the best experience of life, the best time of life, so to say. At least the first ISWI for me was like that. So now I'm expecting the same. Awesome people, awesome time, awesome meetings, and very few hours of sleep.
What have you been doing here at the Intergalactic Night?
We've traveled to space.
Really? How did you travel to space?
We got into some really dark room and there was a projector, a virtual reality. It felt like we were some astronauts, you know, playing around space. We visited all the those things in the solar system. It was so amazing. We even went to the moon somehow. I'm so proud of myself right now.
That sounds so cool. That's like a huge achievement. Why don't you have some neon color in your face?
Maybe I would have one after this interview because it looks cool, you know?
Yeah, it really does. You need to get some. And how has your night been elsewise? What have you been doing here?
I have been going to the clubs a lot. We have some very wonderful clubs here. And then I've met a lot of people from various countries and it's been amazing. It's been an amazing experience. Ilmenau is just so beautiful, you know? Yeah. We've been having a very nice time here.
Thank you very much and I hope you have a great week.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Come back next time.
Of course I will. You know I will always come back.
Once there was an astronaut in New Jersey who wanted nothing but marshmallows and kittens. He was vegan, lonely vegan. And there were...
unicorns.
Uh-huh. That's how you roll. Well, we haven't reached the moon tonight, but...
one day we'll travel to it by unicorn.
No kidding, this was so far my highlight of the ISWI. I loved it so much, but I heard you were there also, so do you want us to give some insight?
Yeah, we were there to make the report. I was the cameraman, so yeah. I sadly wasn't able to be there quite at the beginning, but later on. Some workshops already were done, but there also were this beautiful fire show. We met some poi players, like in the clip, with the colory toys.
That looked really cool, yes.
That looked really, really cool. My mother plays that too, by the way.
Is she as good as them?
She practiced for like a year right now, and she's also right now doing it with fire. So I was really scared as the first time when she did that.
That's quite an untypical hobby for a mom, to be honest.
But it's really cool. Besides of that, there also were a lot of workshop rooms. So like we saw, there was this crafting thing, and there was a monitor with a live stream of the ISS. So the actual...
I missed that. I would have loved to see that.
That was really cool. And there was like a small dome inside the Humboldt, where you could go in, and there was like the moon, and you could walk on it somehow. It was sadly, right as we came to it, it was closed, but the one guest talked about it, and it sounded so cool.
Damn.
And also we had this nice concert.
The music acts were really good. The music was like out of this world. It was really good.
As you saw on Marius, it was really cool.
Yeah.
People were nice.
Yeah. Did you see the laser harp?
Laser harp?
There was laser harp. I saw that, and it was fantastic.
Oh no! I love this laser harp. I saw it on YouTube, and I thought, oh, how cool would be that?
It was so cool. The professor with his small sunglasses and was playing like an evil villain. It was great.
I hate myself. I missed last ISWI's Light for Change festival, but okay. I saw a good impression of that. And Johanna?
Yeah, I would say now we will come to our news. So our lovely guest Anton will present you now what is happening tomorrow. So enjoy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry to tell you that ISWI 2017 is almost over. Tomorrow on 19th May, the closing ceremony will take place. From 8 to 11 p.m. you can enjoy art presentations and a look back over the last week. Yeah. Club news now. Tasty and fresh club news. In the BC Club is the 36 hours party. Till Saturday 9 AM you can make party, party, party. It might be not so long, but in the BH Club is International Disco. A good opportunity listening to music of different cultures and to drink a lot. In the BI Club there's also a great opening tonight. People who want to dance and who want to shake their body can listen to the electro swing. And the last one, why all of these events start on 9 PM and cost between 50 cents and €1. The BD Club has already opened up. There's the Oktoberfest. And if you want to see every German cliché that you can enjoy in our beautiful country, just go to the tent. Thank you.
Thanks, Anton, for bringing the news to us again. Yeah, this was it from today's show. Thanks for our watchers. If you want to watch it again, you can do that on iSTUFF's YouTube channel. Just search for iSTUFF. Maybe you have to search for TU Ilmenau too. I don't know what your search results will bring up, but then you should be able to find it. And everything will be uploaded there shortly after the ISWI. We cannot guarantee that everything will be uploaded in the next week, but we are going to try.
We're working on it, yes.
Also, we have fantastic streams from every other event on this website. You're watching it right now. www.iswision.de.
Yes.
Yeah, and also I want to thank the HSF for helping us out with the interviews too, and also don't miss out their ISWI Garden. I guess tomorrow is the last time on Friday. It's from 11 to 14 o'clock as far as I know. Yeah. Also thanks to all bands that have played here today and the last days, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Johanna.
Yeah, we have one more big highlight. Our good friend Josh, with the most beautiful voice on this planet, will now read us a story. Yeah, so welcome, Josh. Come and tell us a fairy tale.
Come here, Josh. Take a seat.
We are all listening.
Once upon a time, a hyena was foddering in the bush. It was a fine sunny day, and he was looking forward to catching some morsels to eat. But as he was sniffing around, he fell into a hidden trap set by a hunter. He found himself at the bottom of a hole with the trap catch closed over him. He tried to push it open, but just would not budge. It was rather well made. So he started shouting, "Help, help! Somebody get me out of here, please." A lion passed by, looked to see what was in the trap. When he saw it was a hyena, he just moved on. "Help me, let me out of here, please," the hyena shouted. But the lion closed his ears. You should know that most animals did not like the hyena very much. He was always stealing food belonging to the other animals and laughing at them behind their backs. So it was no surprise the lion moved on. The day passed, but every time an animal passed by the trap, however much hyena begged and promised to be nicer to them in the future, none stopped to help him. At last, a monkey came by. "Help me please, monkey. Get me out of this trap. I've been here all day, and the hunter will be back soon, and he will surely kill me. Help me please." "Well now," the monkey said, "that's all very well. I would help you, but as soon as I pull you out of there, you will only kill me." Hyena protested. "Monkey, I promise I will be good. I will touch a hair on your head. If you let me out, I will go straight home, I promise." Now this monkey was very kind, so he agreed to help the hyena. He removed the trap and threw down a branch so the hyena could pull himself out of the trap. But then, as soon as he was out, the hyena realized he has been in the trap all day long and had not eaten anything. So instead of going home, as he had promised, the hyena attacked the kind monkey. Just then, an eagle was flying over the bush and saw the hyena attacking the monkey. So he swooped down, landed on the hyena's back, and with his powerful claws pulled the beast off the poor monkey, who was screeching in pain. After he'd separated the two, the eagle wanted to know what was going on. The monkey explained what had happened, that he had helped the hyena escape from the trap because he had promised not to attack him. The eagle said, "In order for me to understand exactly how this happened, I would like to show me exactly what you two were doing. So, Mr. Hyena, you get back into the trap, and then we will start again." Hyena realized he did not have much choice but to do as he was told, so he jumped back into the trap. The eagle then covered it again and made sure it was secure. "Now, Mr. Hyena," said the eagle, "you can stay here and die for all I care. You don't deserve the kindness of other animals if you cannot keep a simple promise." With that, he advised the monkey to go home to his family, and he himself flew off to continue his journey, leaving the hyena to his fate.
Bitter warning, turn tattoos all to wounds. Raise your voice, be heard for the sake of you. Mesmerized, but there's to become our own desires. Hypnotized, we're forced to suffer in our lives. Keep defending all of our weaknesses. If weakness means to stand up for dreams we have, mesmerized, for there's to become our own desires. Hypnotized, we're forced to suffer in our lives. Will we face that? We're a machine, programmed to stay blind for any engine that is different from products we're designed for. Will we face that? We're a machine, programmed to stay blind for any engine that is different from products we're designed for. Now